my channel. Today's video is going to be about what I packed in my hospital bag. Now, I know I'm doing these videos like so far apart because I posted the what's in my hospital bag video, I believe, in January of 2020, and then I posted my labor and delivery story and experience in November of 2020. So I know I'm doing these videos like super far apart. My intention with these is to create a more relatable pool of content for Jamaican expecting moms. When I was expecting, I watched a lot of these videos on YouTube, and what I realized is that many of the women filming them were living in the States, and so their experiences and things that they packed in their bag didn't really match up to what we will experience here and what we have to pack in our bags because of the hospitals that we have in our country. So my apologies. I'm going to try and finish this maternity series this year. I'm not going to bombard you guys with them because it is a lot. So I'm going to try to finish the series by the end of the year. All right, so let's jump right in. In this video, I'm going to discuss what I packed and what I actually used in my hospital bag. In that video, I mentioned that at my first antenatal appointment, they gave me a list, and I believe that that list can vary depending on the parish or the region in Jamaica that you live in. So I live in the southeastern health region. I think that's what it's called, Sarah. Southeastern Regional Health. Yes, I live in the southeastern part of the island, so it may be different if you live like in Chilami, or if you live in St. Elizabeth or Portland or St. Mary or St. Anne. But I'm just talking about what was on my list. I don't have the original list. I did mention in the what's in my hospital bag video that I only packed maybe like 4 or 5 items that were not on that list. So I did go back through that video, and along with my memory of what was on the list, compiled this one. Don't know if you guys can see it, and it's basically split into 2 sections. The top section is for mom and the lower section is for baby, and we're gonna discuss what I packed and what I used. All right, so first I have here on the list is 2 nightgowns. I don't believe that this will go for people who deliver at like UA or private hospitals, because you guys would get hospital gowns, but if you deliver in public hospitals, you don't get hospital gowns. You have to carry your nightgown and wear. As for 2, anything can happen during pregnancy and labor and delivery. It's very unpredictable. You never know what's gonna happen. I did pack 2. However, as I did mention in my labor and delivery video, I ended up with an emergency C-section. So I spent 3 days in the hospital instead of the 1 or 2 that a mother that delivers naturally would usually spend. So I ended up having to send family members home to get more nightgowns for me. So I ended up using maybe like 4 or 5 while I was in the hospital. So I would definitely say, to stay on the safe side, pack 4 hospital gowns. Also, my milk came in the next day, and my baby was in the NICU, so I was not able to nurse him, and those nightgowns became soiled very quickly. So I'd say a safe number to bring is like 4 or 5. Next, I have salve or Dettol. Now, when I was packing my bag, I was very confused as to why they needed me to bring salve or Dettol. However, what they used the antiseptic liquid for was to give me my sponge bath postpartum. Now, they don't recommend that you use soap in your area right after delivering the baby, so they will use antiseptic liquid to clean you up, and I believe that they do this for women who deliver naturally as well as women who deliver via C-section. So All right. So definitely bring your Dettol or salve. All right. Next, I have disposable pads. Now, I use the exact language that was on the paper, and for a very good reason. When I got the paper and I saw that, I was confused for weeks. Now, when they say disposable pads, they mean Inco pads, and I believe that's what I called it in my original video. They recommend that you bring two. I recommend that you buy the pack of 10 and bring with you to the hospital. Why? Like I said before, anything can happen during labor and delivery, and you need to be prepared. Um, I think that I used maybe like 3 or 4 at the hospital, but they definitely did come in handy postpartum. Um, I believe that I used the rest up until maybe like 2 months postpartum. So definitely invest in the pack of 10. Um, Next, they say 5 maternity pads. I have no idea why they lowball the amounts on these pads. Um, but you're definitely going to need more than 5 if you're going to be in the hospital for more than one day. Now, when I was in the hospital, I believe I did show them. They should be around here. I did show them in the video. These are the maternity pads that I used, and I still have a couple in here because I did switch to overnight stay freeze after a while. And but these are the ones that I was using in the hospital. As you can see, they are big. They're big as my head. And what the nurses did, here is it open. What the nurses did is they put 2 of these side by side in my underwear because they wanted to ensure that I didn't leak. Can you guys see that? Huge. So yeah, you're definitely going to need more than 2. I ended up just packing the entire pack, which was good because I was in the hospital for 3 days, and that's how they recommended to do it once you are caring for ourselves. So I think I ended up using half of the pack in the hospital. And no, this wasn't the only one I purchased. I bought 3 of these and I went through 2. Next, I have 2 bed sheets. Now this is muy important. If you're going to have a baby in the public health system, you need to have your bed sheets. You need to. If you don't, you will be sleeping on a white piece of cloth over a questionable quality mattress. I brought 2 of these while I was in the hospital. I saw other moms, they bought their whole like fitted sheet, cover sheet, pillowcase. They brought everything, and I'm assuming that those are veteran moms because that was definitely necessary. If you want to be comfortable during your stay, definitely bring your sheets. I brought 2 and used 1 for my bed and 1 to cover myself while I'm sleeping, and I'm definitely glad I did that. Now, they recommend that you bring a towel. Now, this does not go for people who are having babies in the private health sector. The public health sector lacks several pieces of necessary equipment. So they recommend that you bring your towel if you're going to be examined, so that you can put it over the examination bed. I would recommend to bring 2 instead of 1, because if you opt to shower before you leave the hospital, then obviously you're going to need your towel to dry off afterwards. So I'd say definitely bring 2. I brought 1 and I had to send home for another one, so definitely pack 2. Next is bottle enema. Now, I delivered via C-section, as I mentioned before. I don't know if the enema mothers who deliver naturally, but I never used my bottle enema. I never, even though I did eat a couple of hours before my C-section, they never gave me an enema. As a matter of fact, I still have it unopened here, almost 2 years later, with the price still on it. So I never used the enema. I'm going to say still bring it in case, but from my personal experience, I never used it, so I would say that it's necessary. um my camera is about to die, so next I have bath rags. This is definitely necessary. They are gonna use one to do your sponge bath, so definitely have your bath rags. Make sure they're new. You don't want them to be, you know, crispy and the nurses judge you, so try to get two new bath rags. Those are definitely something that you're gonna use. I'm looking down at the book. um the list had two blood donor forms. um all I can say is give blood. You can't do it when you're pregnant, so they recommend that two members of your family do it for you. But definitely do give blood. You never know what will happen if you're going to need an emergency C-section like me, or a scheduled C-section. You may need blood, so just give back to the blood bank. And this is something that was not on the list, but I'm going to mention it. Have $200. They're gonna charge you $200 to register your baby. The person who was there for me, she didn't have any change, so try to have change. $200, just put it in, get a hospital bag with a pocket, because you know they be stealing. Put it in the pocket and ensure that you have your $200 to register your baby. All right, so next I have for baby. All right, so they have here 6 diapers. I believe that this list is for mothers who are going to have a natural birth, because if you have a natural birth and there is no complication, your baby doesn't go to the NICU or anything, you're gonna have your baby with you on the ward, so you will be taking care of your baby from jump. I packed 12 diapers in my son's bag. I fully expected to deliver him naturally, however, that was not the case. And so he was in the NICU. Now, the 12 diapers I packed him were finished before I was discharged from the hospital. I don't know if they shared with other babies. I don't know if it was a case where as soon as he got like wet, or they suspected that he was wet, they changed him. But you're gonna definitely need to pack more than 6 diapers. Like I said, you never know what happened. Pack a sleeve. I believe that a newborn sleeve has like 70 something diapers. One sleeve has 70 something diapers. If you're buying in Huggies or Pampers, buy a sleeve in case. Better to be safe than sorry. Next I have 2 shimmies. Shimmies is what they prefer to put your baby in at the hospital. It's like a hospital gown. They can easily examine your baby if needs be. I did pack 2. I only came back with 1 because the NICU stole the other one. That's another story for another day. If I have spoken with other moms and they don't agree with the need for the shimmies because they don't like them and they're very thin. So if you're in a hospital with AC like I was, your baby's gonna be very cold. So I would just advise you to use your discretion there, where as it relates to the amount or if you're going to pack them or not. Next, they have 2 receiving blankets. Now, I packed 3 in my hospital bag, and I think when I did, I mentioned that you never know what happened, and I was absolutely right. I packed 3 and I only came home with 2. The one that they took him to the NICU in, I never got it back. But they really do come in handy, so I would recommend that you pack 2 if you end up delivering naturally. If you have no complications, you can definitely go ahead and pack 2. If you know you have like GD or pre-E, or your baby's breech and you may end up needing to deliver by a C-section, pack a few and don't expect to come home with a couple of them. Oh, I also believe that mothers who deliver naturally, you're not gonna have one of those receivers afterwards. They use it to clean up the baby, I've heard. So they're not gonna give you the bloody receiver to go back home with. So definitely pack 3 or 4. Alright, next I have alcohol or rum, and this is to clean the baby's umbilical cord. I guess for a conversation starter, if you plan not to breastfeed and you want to take the edge off, no, don't do that. You'll be on medication. Don't drink the rum. Bring alcohol. Bring alcohol. I recommend. I brought alcohol. They didn't use it because, like I said, it was in the NICU. So I brought alcohol. I used it when we came home to clean his umbilical stump. So I guess you can say I recommend that. um they pack, they say 2 baby shirts. When they say baby shirts, they mean the pin under ones. I'm assuming that they tell you to pack those for like being on the ward with your baby or when you're going home. um my son was in the NICU, so I didn't take him home until 6 days after he was born, but I definitely did walk around with the shirts in my bag in case they were telling me that he was going to be discharged that day. So definitely bring two cute ones, for baby's first outfit outside of the hospital. So I would say replace that with a cute going home outfit, or you can bring the 2 shirts if you do plan to keep your baby in the chemise while around the ward. But yeah, um yeah, that's it for that list. um I hope you guys have understood from what I'm saying about what is necessary and what's really not to bring to the hospital with you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for coming and watching. Have a great day.